Yo,
Yo,
yo, one sec. I'm about to
no worries.
hop in. Dude, stoked to chat, man.
Dude, let's
Yo.
go. How's it going, man?
Bro, it is going fucking fantastic. And your boy just copped a new piece. Pretty stoked on it. It's called
Really?
Pencil. It's fucking lit.
Oh
So
shit, let's go.
I'm
Appreciate
gonna have
you,
to
bro.
throw it up on the token frame for sure, man. That piece
I
is like,
love
how can I not have that piece? It's
it.
fucking perfect.
Yeah, man, I think honestly, I think we draw a lot of our work from like similar. I mean, it's like nostalgia is just one of the most important things for me. Like even with music or anything I've done, it's always been like idea of contemporary nostalgia, where like when you're making stuff, trying to make it where it has that like, sexy like a Nintendo 64 or blood sugar sex magic. But yeah.
Yeah, like, so why do you feel like that is powerful? I think it's an interesting concept because, I mean, even defining nostalgia is kind of
Mm,
tricky. Like, there's some definition to it, but it really is just something that we know inherently. And for some reason, we value it, but it's kind of hard for me to like put a pin on why. So I'm curious your take on that.
yeah, I mean it's rooted in what raises us, right? Like what we're made up out of. I think that's why, like, yeah, a lot of us value it so much for sure per each person. But that's what I kind of am talking about in regards to like contemporary nostalgia, quote unquote, or something like that, where it's like trying to achieve something that has a more eternal through line than like just era based nostalgia. But then, like, what do you think? Is nostalgia constricted by time, or is it? I don't know.
I think that it's not necessarily constricted by time because right now we're creating the nostalgia that we will have in the
Hmm.
future.
Hmm.
So I think that why we value it is kind of like what you're saying, like it's rooted in us, and therefore we find like some inherent value that gets us excited. But there's something about
Hmm.
like seeing a work like Pencil, which I'll just pull up real quick so people can see what's good. And by the way, there's only one left. So if anyone's viewing this now, and there is magically still one left, which I'll probably be surprised by that point. This is a snipe, but yeah, let me pull this up real quick. Like this piece here is just so sick because I like how it's your unique style. Firstly, like this is by far, like far away, you'd see this piece and it's color. You already
Yeah.
know. Like I'm curious too, like how you actually make these pieces because I'm pretty sure you hand draw everything, like
Yep.
all of the like curviness. That's fucking cool.
Definitely.
Um, but so like this here, like the S, it's literally, I don't know who the fuck came up with this S, but everybody knows the S, you know? It's like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's just in our soul at this point, you know? And like
Literally. Yeah.
the Ticonderoga pencil with like that gorgeous eraser, which when I was a kid, I always found myself just having absolutely no eraser on my pencils. I was like that fucking kid. But yeah, like I love this piece, man. So like when
Appreciate
you
it,
say
man.
contemporary, yeah, yeah. When you say contemporary, like tell me a little bit more about what you mean by that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think just while you were talking, I was just thinking, like, honestly, we're doing exactly that, like you said, right? Where, this is kind of like vintage classic shit, right? The S, even the pencil, that's like easily the most iconic pencil in my mind.
It is.
But then, like, by creating new art with it, it's almost like mimetics, where you're elongating the life of it, and then it kind of like keeps the nostalgia, but then it makes it fresher, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean that's pretty much how I think about it. I mean, this recent like run I've been on is, um, I don't know why. I'm such a rule-based guy. I like professionally a graphic designer forever, and it's just kind of yeah. I just have so many rules with myself, and so right now I'm in the internet pop era, and so all of the pieces that I pick, it's not even really like there's a piece of it that is what I want it to be, but then largely it needs to be iconic. Like not just to me and not for everyone, but like in a general human way kind of thing.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I've just been, chipping away slowly with the, Campbell soup or
Yes.
the Apple IIe. I just did that one and yeah, you collected the Charizard one of one too. I mean, that was just like and trying to bring more meaning out of it
Dude.
too, where it's like Charizard is dope, of course. Level 36, that's a meme in itself for me in my life. Um, but then obviously the rarity and I don't know, just playing with the
Oh yeah.
nostalgia, man.
Oh, I had to have that one. We'll take some more peeps here at what we've got going with the pop editions. And I know you have some other editions as well. Like your style is so sick to me. I love the vibe. And like recently I've been thinking about nostalgia and how like the unique styles that people have when creating it. And
Mm,
I was like trying to define my own work. And what I came up with is this concept of nostalgic surrealism, because it's
mm,
like basically a surreal, dreamlike environment. And it's kind of like the same vibe here. It's like a dreamy,
mm,
like, like trippy kind of vibe, but it's absolutely nostalgic for anybody who, like, I mean, any person out there would probably agree that this is nostalgic to them, just based off
mm.
even the white paper. Like, I fucking
Yeah,
love it, man. So yeah, your work is absolutely sick, and um, I'd
yeah.
like
If
to
you go
try to
just
see.
straight internet pop without the additions, then it shows the one of
Here
ones.
we go. So let's see.
I have so many collections,
Oh,
bro.
I know, dude. Me too. I've minted
all
stuff
of
too, like
those
contracts that
all
literally
of
don't have
those
anything on it.
loaded exactly. It was when OpenSea was doing the whole like, by this date if you don't fucking deploy the contract.
Yeah, what did that? I don't even know what that meant, honestly.
That was
But
retarded, bro. God damn it.
yeah, they're trying to do stuff. But yeah, this is the piece I own right here. Fucking dope. Had to have that. Um,
I'm definitely
I
gonna
mean,
get you a fucking crispy print one day, I promise.
oh man, dude,
I
that's
promise.
that's sick. That's above and beyond. You don't have to do all that, but if you
Oh
did, I mean,
no,
I would absolutely fucking love it. Of course,
100.
that's I'd definitely put that up in my house for sure, for sure. Like, love the vibe here, and also this, like, what's the caption like? Why do you do caption in binary?
I mean that kind of just goes back to like even internet color. So like um I yeah, I mean I've been making art for since like 20 I think I had my first show in like 2013.
Wow.
Um and that art was like a completely different art style. Um and all physical and all this shit and just kind of an insane amount of work that was driving me crazy. Like yeah, I did a mural once and I like billed it or estimated it to take 1 month. And I'm like renting scaffolding and all this shit. And then it took 4 months. And it was just like, oh my God, it was really fucking brutal. Um, and
Yeah,
so then I,
such. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no,
it's
no, go ahead, go
classic.
ahead.
Absolutely classic. That's all I was gonna say.
Fucking
You
brutal.
know
So
how
I
things
was
go.
literally paying to finish it. It was on a fucking ceiling above a staircase inside of this building in downtown LA. And so like literally, bro, I mean, yeah, it just took forever. And so after that and a couple other things, I just kind of took a break from art stuff.
Hmm.
Um, and I also make some music and stuff, but then when I started, doing crypto and then eventually like kind of thinking about art, it was really through Smile was how I really was like inclined to start again. Seeing people like Chrome Void and Love Bean and Slug Force One. They were all, rocking the Smile, but they're all like, like hipster fucking cool guy artist guys, that like, will post a picture of some old painter or whatever. They were just like
Hmm.
cool as fuck. And I was like, okay, there's something here that's more than just standard Pepe stuff, which is also cool. And me being the Japanese mfer that I am, I was like, all right, well, and this is also because of my pops and just how he kind of, yeah, raised me or whatever. I was like, all right, what's the most OG way I could do this shit? Like the most respectful path in crypto art that I could take. And then I started, I learned about Rare Pepes and the history of crypto art and all that stuff. And then, yeah, Dark Farms and Smile, all that stuff made sense. Um, and then I started making art again. And so at first I was like, all right, I'm not gonna have my like insane rules and restrict myself to a certain aesthetic or anything. I was just like, I'm just gonna start drawing pepes and like do something that's like way less pressure. Um, and that, yeah, I pretty much just started doing that. Um,
Hmm.
kind of forgot your question there, but
No, I love it. Keep rolling for sure.
yeah. But then, yeah, I was literally just drawing them figuratively. Oh, yes. That's what we were talking about, was the binary. And so then, yeah, like, if you see my website or whatever, it's all like conceptual and shit. And basically, my artist name has always been colorcolor, but I wanted this version or this identity to be internet me, basically. And that's where the www comes in, and that's where kind of like my use of binary or these kind of like computer mimetic pieces kind of that's yeah. And it's always better for me, like, I don't know, I like it when artists aren't that like easily communicative. Like it's kind of nice when things are a little bit yeah, there's some
Yeah,
Easter eggs and whatever else.
dude, this is
And so
such a
yeah,
sick site. I love this.
it's pretty, it is simple, but like, yeah, I don't
Simple's
know.
good.
The Vista fucking background is or is it
Classic.
XP? Yeah.
I think it's XP, but it might have been
Yeah.
even earlier. So like these are all your different collections here.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah, that
I don't
was
think I've
when I
seen
was
these.
like going pretty hard. I was learning just playing with AI. That's the AI collection. And so
Oh,
yeah,
I got a couple of these.
this is Internet Pepe. So basically Internet Pepe, um so at first I was drawing so if you go back, if there's a one of one collection. I think you might just have to go to foundation, honestly.
Good old F&D.
It's down
Ooh,
there. It
that
shows
one's
a
sick.
computer, that the
I
one in the
like that
middle
one.
up there with the binary and the computer screen. Yeah, that.
Yes.
So this was the first piece that I made, that I minted.
Oh, nice, bro. Dark Farms bought it.
Um,
It looks like
yeah, it's an insane story, but yeah, I mean, so this is the obviously the creation of Adam, and I was like, all right, so this
0.69.
is the
GG.
beginning, of fucking internet color, right? And so I had listed it at 0.69 back then, right? Like I hadn't minted anything, no one had collected anything. And I was like, all right, this is not because I'm like arrogant or whatever. This is a challenge. I'm gonna complete the fucking meme. And like when this shit goes, the meme will be complete type thing. And yeah, so it just sat there for the longest time ever. jagged, like, fucking offered. And I messaged him. I was like, I really appreciate it, bro, but like, I gotta complete the meme, man. I'm talking to Love Being. He's like, no, don't fucking sell it. Blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I don't know. Just after all the Bohm stuff happened, I posted it again,
Uh,
and then fucking randomly Dark Farms fucking bid on it. And
it's a
so
sick
I've,
piece.
yeah,
This is hand drawn, by
appreciate
the
it,
way. Can
bro.
you talk us through a little bit about your process?
Yeah, I mean, this one was insanely fucking anal. Like each number is hand drawn. Uh, and it's like done. I need to like do it a little bit messier so it doesn't look fucking perfect because no one will believe me. Um, but
How,
I
dude?
mean,
Literally
yeah, I
how?
mean, it's just
What?
many layers, and you know, I do stuff in Procreate and Photoshop.
Hmm.
I mean, I used to be like a retoucher, for like fashion shit, and obviously a graphic designer, illustrator, and all that other stuff too. So, usually, yeah, like Procreate is where I start, just drawing things, and creating all the different layers and stuff like that. And it's usually not in the most finished, perfect way because then I take it into Photoshop, and then I can like really fidget with the colors and all the effects and whatever else. Yeah. But yeah, so this is what I started with, was figurative stuff like this, and like things that show Pepe's face more and whatever else. Um, and
Wild.
then yeah, one of my like favorite painters, his name's Gerhard Richter. I don't know, have you heard of him before? Gerhard Richter?
I don't think so, no. I mean, maybe, but not off the top of my head right now.
He's insanely sick. Do you mind looking at some of his pieces real quick? It would inform the
For sure.
conversation. Sick. Appreciate it. And just let me know if I'm like going too fast and shit, even at the beginning of
Oh,
the.
dude. Oh, not at all, man. I love to
Oh,
hear a
okay.
good ramble. Like, I encourage it. I absolutely encourage it. So this is the guy, right?
Nice. Yes. So just go to images and like try and find the image of him with a painting or doing it.
Here.
If you go down more,
Damn, dude, this is
that
dope.
if you go on the left,
Here.
that one, the green one, yeah, exactly. So he takes screen printing like squeegee things, but they're big as shit, right? But it's or different tools. But basically, what he does with these paintings is he just puts a bunch of paint on a board, basically, and then he drags it across the fucking canvas, and then he does it again, and then he does it again, and then he does it again. But then he's putting weight in certain areas of the canvas, and it unveils the like under layers and all these types of things. He's sick as fuck. This dude is like, he's like, 80 or whatever the fuck he is now. But when he was like, 20 years old, dude was like savant drawing fucking angels immaculately. Like he is classically trained, serious like goat shit. But then once abstract art and like kind of the rebellion of that perfection became a thing, he was also like a rock star when it came to like abstract art back then. Even like one of his shows is called, I don't know if it's called this, so don't quote me on that, but there's a show that is like people talk about it to be the gray paintings. And so in this show he has like 10 paintings and they're all gray, all of them, the
Interesting.
same gray, all of them. And so he just talks about it and shit. There's a documentary on him. It's fucking sick. And he's like, yeah, I was just, like playing around. I just started painting with one color gray, and then I would make more paintings. But then I realized some were better than the others. And I was like, oh, damn, that's
Wow.
cold as fuck.
Wow.
Damn.
Are these the
And
ones?
yeah, 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 I think so.
You can see a
It's, I think
little
it's the taller ones on the left. It's like the
piece.
taller proportion. Yeah, I think they're more like that shape.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's
But there,
wild.
yeah, you
So
have to see the, you got to be, whatever. It's more the concept of it that was so cool to me. And it's about the movement, the rare movement that his body could only have made that one time, right? Like
yeah, it's
theoretically,
irreplicable.
he couldn't even do it again.
Right. I love that.
Um, and so that's kind of where the kind of distortion, the squiggly whatever www style came from, was me like largely being inspired by, I mean, I would say it's like Gerhard Richter and Cause kind of is like my
Nice.
kind of aesthetical inspirations.
So
And so
when
basically,
you
yeah, go ahead.
just to interrupt you quickly, I
Yeah,
want to
yeah, yeah, it's
touch on
fine.
the one part. No, no, no. I love it, man. I love the flow. I want to touch on the part there when you said some of them look better than the others. What do you
Yeah.
feel like that means to you as an artist?
Hmm. I mean, I think even with design, like I was taught, there's static and then there's dynamic, right? Even with
Hmm.
music or a sound or anything, or placement of a couch in a room, or um it's like what ineffable, they say it's like you can't really explain it. It's like you either get it or not, where it's like something, if yeah, like oftentimes you don't just make things too even, you need to make them uneven in the right way where that thing just made it dynamic. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
I mean, that's kind of how I see it. I haven't really seen all of these paintings, like a lot of it was just him talking about it that inspired me so much. Um, but I totally get him where it's like there must be just some unexplainable strokes in this one where he's like, I don't know, well, this one is clearly better than the other one, you know?
I think
Um,
it's sick because it's basically him saying, "Look, like this can only have been done in this exact moment," and that's why I love
yeah,
glitch art and different
100.
animated aspects that can't be reproduced. Like even by the same artist, it would just always look a little bit different.
Yeah,
So what he was saying is basically to me like this is super interesting how it's just gray but it's abstract, but it's also very different, each one, when you actually look into it. And I think that kind of is very unique, very interesting.
yeah. I mean, PFPs almost have a similar effect now that I think about it, right? Where it's like, it's kind of like a calling thing, where it's like, I'm sure there's some that just are generally unesthetic, but then there's some that are dynamic, but maybe dynamic to just certain people also. Like something dope that happens from the similarity as opposed to just absolute difference, I guess. But yeah, he's a huge fucking inspiration.
I
Um
love that. So you've been creating
and
since
yeah.
2013.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been creating since 2013. I think my old website is like fucking down or something. Um
Did I crash it somehow? I'm just kidding.
no, no, no.
No, it's not down.
My
I was
like
on it just a
whole
second ago.
no,
Oh,
my old art website. It's on a cargo collective. So I think it's Bukau, Bukau is the name of my old art. I don't know if it comes up if you just put Bukau, Bukau, like on Google.
Bukau. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
not sharing that tab. My bad. Here we are.
Okay, I guess not. Could you type in cargo also? Bukau cargo?
This
I
here?
think it's that. Yeah, it's just I stopped paying the fucking
Oh shit.
subscription.
No. Okay, so you used to make clothes.
Also, yeah, I mean, I worked mostly in the fashion industry, yeah. And
Ooh,
so, like,
this is dope.
Yeah, it's
You
with a
made these?
brand called. Yep.
The fuck? Do they still
It's with a.
sell right now, or like is this just archived?
No, bro, I'm a fucking masochist. That shit took like a month and a half to make just that one pair. It's retarded. I had no.
Dude, I mean, that's
It
why it's
was. It
worth
was
like
all.
5 grand.
It was. I mean, yeah, that brand. So I was
Like,
working with this brand. It's called Gallery Department. Now their t-shirts are like fucking like $1,500 for a fucking t-shirt.
damn.
And fucking Hollywood
I
shit,
love
but
learning more about this journey that you've been on. Like, so like you started out, like what else have you done? Because obviously, man, your work is sick and I love seeing it sell like in all markets. I've been a collector of your work for a while, and I think that you as a human being is just you're just a fucking dope MFer. But like
appreciate it, bro.
learn, of course, man, learning all of this depth to who you are and how you've gotten here is so
Yeah.
intriguing. Like I love this. I would buy this if I could
And
afford it. I don't know what
if I could
the price is.
fucking, you know, if I could make them more than, 1 month at a time, then yeah, it would be nice, I think.
Yeah, I
But yeah,
mean,
if you,
yeah.
yeah,
No,
if
go
you go
ahead.
to
Sorry.
like the photos down there, for example, on the right, yeah.
This?
So this was a show that I did in 2017 at this brand, Gallery Department's like main shop or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, and so yeah, it was called People Are People, and basically the idea behind this pattern is that it's kind of like acid trip, like when you see the walls, when you see it's kind of like seeing what the world is made up of, but it's not
Ooh,
about the specific um, pattern necessarily. It's also about what is underneath it. And so the idea behind the pattern is that it is represents kind of like a DNA, everything and nothingness. But then
hmm.
what it's under, it frames in a new way for you to like, those photos look pretty ordinary, but then when you see it with like a new composition, it changes how you see it, kind of.
Interesting.
Um, yeah, so that was like the general concept for that show. And then like the other image you were looking at of like the photo booth, I'd actually made a photo booth um, so that all the people at the show
Oh,
could leave with their own, basically.
damn, that's so
Um,
clever. So who'd you collaborate with on this and where was it?
so this was with Gallery Department. I mean, it was all my show, and me and my fucking uncle built that photo booth. Um,
Wow.
and yeah, they're like a denim now, like super high fashion, rappers wear it type brand.
And they're wearing
Um,
your designs? Or is it beyond that now at this point? They're like doing
no, no,
other
no, no,
things.
no. That. Yeah, yeah, that was like again. I was never able to make a high, uh, um, more mass production work. So we made like a few t-shirts type stuff. But I was working for them as a photographer and a graphic designer. So I was like doing all of their stuff back then. Um,
Mhm.
and then yeah, and then we just kind of parted ways. It was a little kind of shitty business stuff, whatever.
It
But
happens.
yeah, um,
I love the
yeah,
vibes.
it's pretty shitty,
I
but
mean, like, it reminds me of like boutique, like really dope, like almost like Chrome Heartsy vibe. Like, I don't know if you
exactly.
fuck with that,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. I mean, they did a Chrome Hearts collab. Like, I remember I was in the fucking in their store taking pictures of the new like clothes they had made, and fucking Virgil Abloh came and then bought a Chrome Hearts Gallery Department pair of jeans when I was there.
dude, that's
That was
cool.
crazy. Yeah.
Legendary. Dude, and Chrome Hearts
Um,
too. They like I love their marketing style and the way that they restrict supply and like they're
mhm,
hard to get. Like you can't just pop in Neiman Marcus
100%.
and cop.
100%.
Like I
I mean, it's all that, right? Like, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, like no, I was gonna ask you like I love that. Like what do you think about that? And how do you feel like there might be parallels there between like artists in Web3 and like restrictive supply techniques that companies like Chrome Hearts are using that obviously really crush for them now that they're like extremely well known. The demand
Mm-hmm.
is like 1,000x any given moment's supply, and the market for their stuff is like you can't even get legit Chrome Hearts reliably online unless you're buying
No.
it directly from them. Like, you just buy fake shit, like, and it's like, fuck, this is fake. Oh, okay, another one I bought that's fake. Like, you just get ripped off endlessly, basically, unless you just like,
Yeah.
it's wild.
I
I'm
mean, I
curious what you think
obviously
about all that.
I respect the brand, of course. I mean, they're super popular in Japan too, and I remember them even like 10, 15 years ago. Um,
Wow.
but I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, gallery department does the same thing, right? Like I remember everyone was bitching that their shirts were $100 back then, but then, dude that runs the company, he went to Paris and started like, seeding it in the right places. Um, and then I remember, being like, bro, you're not gonna send shit to rappers or like anything like that. He's like, nah, I'm chilling. Like, trust me.
Really?
And then sure enough, bro, like 2 years later, like Future is wearing it and whatever. And this is like because they were at some boutique in Paris or whatever, and they found it there, not the brand having to like sponsor it directly.
Wow.
And so there's definitely cool elements of that where it's almost like it is that restriction that creates almost like I mean, I guess if it's intentionally restrictive, maybe it's not fully natural, but it creates a type of magnetism that I think is fucking sick. Um, but I also think that, like, with clothes, like, I don't know, dude, it kind of creates a situation where, like, everyone has to wear fucking Zara that fucks up the world and,
Right.
is shitty to kids and whatever, all this shit, right?
Yeah.
Um, But then if you want to be fly, you got to spend 5 bands on a fucking Chrome Hearts pair of jeans. I mean, it's just like,
Yeah, literally.
yeah, like
I mean,
I definitely
ashtray
want to
for
make clothes.
3K.
You feel me? Where it's just like, yeah, I want to make clothes. I want to make really, really, really fly shit. And I want people to think it's fly and feel that it's fly and be high quality, but then also like it would be cool for it to be kind of attainable in some kind of way also. Um, but that's a common conundrum. Like, more supply is naturally, like scientifically less value, right?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Like, hard to attain stuff is
Yeah,
definitely going to be valued more. I mean, like, that's why was so intrigued by Chrome Hearts, and like
yeah,
how they operate is so
yeah.
interesting. Like, and I think there's a lot of parallels between Web3 and artists and how they operate as well. Like, I recently just
Mhm,
interviewed Noper. Right? I don't know if you're familiar
mhm,
with his work, but um, he also takes like a similar like strategy, like shares a lot of work, like doesn't mint very often, and he mints one of ones almost exclusively, and like
mhm,
it's created a high demand for his work where like Xcopy recently just copped his work and it put him on the map. But he's been on the map with like Alejandro Cartagena through Fellowship and
mhm. Sick.
all of that. And like,
That's
I
fine.
think yeah, it's dope. It's like, I think though, I'm inspired to be more restrictive nowadays because I think, I went and I've minted virtually everything under the sun that I've ever created. And I've always been a believer of like mint, 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 like don't give a fuck, just put it out there. But like
Mhm,
when you do that, it ends up creating this like, it's too easy for you to get your work. Even look at Xcopy, like his editions are selling for like some of them under half an ETH, you know, because it's just been
yeah.
like the saturation. Now he's playing this damage control game where he literally named the collection damage control to like burn max pains to like retain, like get back to equilibrium. So it's kind of
But he
interesting.
also,
Yeah.
yeah, he also has a
Okay.
fucking shitload of work too, right?
Yes.
But yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, like, there's this one article that Jacob from Zora had written, and it's something along the lines of mint everything. What is it called? Um,
Oh, I'd
and
love to
he's
read that.
just mint first is what it's called. And so basically, you know, like Zora's kind of outlook on things, I think, at least the way I'm, you know, understanding it is like beyond this early era of tokenized art or just media. And it's kind of like taking it to the the future, right? Like where it's gonna be natural and ubiquitous and all of these type of things. And so he's saying, like, literally, whether it's like, you know, a poem or whatever, minting it on Mirror, or whether it's artwork or a photo of your, you know, dog or whatever, where it's just like mint it before you post it, because that makes the minted token the original, right? Like that's really taking provenance to the next level, I think. Um, and so I don't know where I'm at with in between all of these, you know, there's so many ways of doing it. But like for me, I'm not posting a piece of artwork if it's not minted. Like I won't. Because
Interesting.
I don't, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like I'm not
I love that
if I'm
take.
posting artwork, I'm fucking etching that shit into the digital world, and then you get to see it, right? Like if I'm taking real life me painting it on a canvas to the blockchain or to the internet, then isn't like I don't want the first provenance to be a fucking Twitter post.
Right.
And
I
then
fuck with
and then
that.
I
I
just
do fuck with
yeah,
that.
it's like I don't really care so much about like I mean I don't want to overly saturate shit, whatever. I get it. But like yeah, I'll have fucking 10 different collections and whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Dude,
What
I
do you
fuck
think
with that
about
heavily.
that?
I think that like my take has always been like mint everything because I mean, look, we're only here for what? Like how much more time? In like
Mm-hmm.
a perfect scenario, we live to be 100. I'm
Mm-hmm.
31, 70 more
Mm-hmm.
years. Days nowadays go by like just like nothing, dude. I mean, like think about this. Like if you have 365 days a year, 100 years, that's 36,500 days, right? If my math is right.
Mm-hmm.
Probably is. It probably is. Well, let me see actually. Some yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
36,500, right?
Yeah.
So 36,500. I mean, like that just like you could burn through that like nothing, you know?
100%. Yeah.
Like, so why play this game of scarcity when like in reality we're not going to be here that much longer? Scarcity is just kind of bullshit in that sense. Like
Uh-huh.
mint it
Uh-huh.
all, like get it all out there because when you're gone, then your supply will end. You won't
That's
have any
why
more supply.
I'd rather move like Andy Warhol, Basquiat, or Keith Haring, where it's like their value made their shit valuable, not their like, you know, manipulation of these type of things.
True that,
Not that
dude.
it shouldn't be
Damn.
thought of at all, but I just think that like that's more G shit. That's more like of the people type shit. Like you know Love Being?
I don't know him personally, but I definitely know who he is for sure.
Okay,
And
yeah.
mad respect to him. Shout out to Love Being.
He's to me, he's the greatest living artist, period, hands down, like no fucking contest. And like in last NFT NYC, he had a solo show that he like decided to put it together like a fucking week before type shit. And it was beautiful. And you know, inside of the gallery, he had, you know, the works and different installations and all this cool, you know, Gianni ass shit. Um, but then literally he had a big ass box full of fucking art, and he just literally took it outside and was like, "Who wants something?" And then he was just giving out like fire shit to everyone, bro. Like, and he would look at you and then like give you the one that like, you know what I mean, fits you type shit. You know what I mean? It's like that's the type of energy, right? Where like it's not his value is the value. It's not the technical numbers of it, I guess. I mean, that's how could you? That's as Bitcoin as you could fucking take it, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely the ethos of this whole entire ecosystem is that. Like, I do
Yeah.
fuck with that. So tell me a little more, like, why do you think he's the best living artist right now? Love being.
I think, I mean, even beyond the art, just like what he means and what he perpetuates, the way of thinking, I mean, literally, it's in his name. It's pretty fucking simple. You know what I mean? Um, but also, just as an artist, like this man is so fucking free, bro. Like he is so. I'm so jealous of my over calculated fucking executional or whatever, or however you would say. So it's just like, bro, he's just, yeah, he's just free. He's as free as you could possibly get. Where, he's a like tradition or like with his work stuff, he's a motion designer, so he does all kinds of crazy shit with After Effects, and he has those moving works, of course. Um, but yeah, like I'll go to his house and it's just like, dude, we'll just, take a fucking piece of cardboard and then just do some shit to it. And then, use this type of crayon and use a fucking whatever. And it's just, but it ends up dope though, right? It also ends up fucking so dope. Um, and I think I speak of it like that because those are the qualities that I want, I think, is that level of freedom. And yeah, I mean he's like a big old child, dude. Like, and that's I mean that in the best way possible, right? Like when people are born, the first thing you're taught is how to act. But like listen to those words, right? Like how to act, bro. Like this is why we have epiphanies when we take mushrooms, is because we shed the fucking manipulating the supply, the manipulating anything, right? You shed that completely, and then you become your child true self, you know what I mean? That is vulnerable and doesn't know that you're not allowed to say this or whatever, right? And I think he's just like, it's part of his condition. Like he can't help but just be that free and that uninhibited. But I really, really respect that, and yeah, I just think that there should be more of that in the world. Um, yeah, but dude, yeah, I don't know, he's really inspiring to me. So, um,
Power.
but
Wow.
yeah,
I love that, bro. That hits me in the soul. Like, for real. Because,
yeah, well,
dude, fuck all this shit. Like, back to the whole, like, back to the drawing board type vibes.
yeah,
Like, I fuck with that heavily. Like, some people call it first principles and stuff. I don't really know, honestly, exactly what that means. I'm going to be honest. I guess
mm,
it means just like back to the drawing board type shit, or like what is the first true like idea. And like ultimately, like, fuck this whole supply conversation of like, manipulate. It is manipulation. Like that's definitely a take, and I'll definitely like agree with that in a sense, because like if all we do is focus on like having just so little amount of work out there so that our work
mhm.
can be more valuable, ultimately, I mean, I guess that's cool, but at the same time, like, I, I mean,
But then no one gets to have it either, bro.
yeah,
Like, well,
exactly. And
it's so
dude,
funny in
yeah,
crypto, right? Like people. Like, bro, just in crypto in general, not even just with art. It's so funny how, it's like most of these motherfuckers haven't like looked at the fucking Bitcoin white paper, but then meanwhile, like, bro, it's supposed to be decentralized, but we're happy when BlackRock buys our bags, bro. Like, this shit is like kind of backwards a little bit, you know what I mean? Um,
yeah, it definitely is. I feel like it's like all kind of convoluted when it comes to like the original idea is like we
yeah.
don't want the government buying. It's not bullish to think like, I mean, it might be bullish, I guess, but it doesn't feel like the ethos of like, yo, the
Yeah.
government is gonna buy like 10% of the fucking supply. Let's fucking
Yeah.
go. Because then now the
Yeah.
Winklevoss twins and then the rest of the like Bitcoin cabal like owns like 95% of this shit. So then the supply is like basically completely controlled. And then yeah, like price can soar to the millions. But like, I don't know, man. I think like this conversation today really hits home because I've recently been so like caught up in this idea of like, okay, like I need to chill on how much that I'm minting stuff.
Mm.
Like, because you know me, like I've always consistently minted. I used to mint every fucking day almost. And
Mm-hmm.
now I really have taken a step back from that because I felt that I don't want to oversaturate the market with my work.
Yeah.
And in reality, man, like I love your take on it because it reminds me of like where I started. It reminds me of why I started and the
Yeah.
mentality of like, yo, like fucking just put shit out there. That's dope. You're here for only a little while. Tomorrow's
Yeah.
not guaranteed. Just fucking mint dope shit. And I love your mentality of like the truest provenance is that you've minted it first. Like,
Yes. That's
fuck
because I
yeah.
value the blockchain. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a fucking method for me to turn shit into dollars. You know what I mean? Like that. What the fuck? Like, some of these motherfuckers got it fucked up, bro. Like, I don't know. I really believe in this shit. Like, I legitimately believe in it, and it just makes me laugh when people give a fuck about Sotheby's. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like, how? I don't know, bro. Like, we need more punk rock in this shit. Like, real punk rock. Like, the meaning of punk rock. You know what I mean? Because that's where this cypherpunk shit comes. You know what I mean? Like, it's really full circle.
Right,
Like, it's
right.
already built into this shit, right? And so, I don't know. I just, yeah, yeah. I
I
think,
think that
yeah.
when it comes to pumping bags, that's like the ultimate fucking narrative that gets people interested and talking and bullish
Hmm.
is like,
Hmm.
okay, I can make more money because artist XYZ dropped this thing and then I can spend 100 or 1,000 or whatever amount of money and then be able to either sell it or think about selling it and think about how I gained value when in reality
Hmm.
nothing has really
Hmm.
happened anyway. And like
Hmm.
it's all this kind of Ponzi of like, okay, like now I have more value, therefore I am better, therefore I respect this artist. But in reality, like we have to spread this voice of also like, yo, where did we start? Let's become cypherpunk again. Make
Hmm.
fucking
Hmm.
art like cypherpunk again, like crypto art.
100%.
Like
100%.
that's so key.
Yeah. And that's why, like, I honestly, like, even just judging myself more than even just minting, art, like, I need to play with the chain more, right? And like, I've been just playing with the idea. I don't actually have the mechanics or how I want to do it, of just trying to create a kind of like game with whether it's with like burn mechanics or different things, right? But just to like, yeah, make it fun. But also like at the same time, right? Like I'm not speaking only from like pure passion and like oblivious to the reality of the world because supply and these type of things I've been affected by it, right? Where like, someone might mint a shitload of things or whatever, and then now my shit is not valuable. And it's not even about me like thinking about it and realizing it. It's like a natural feeling where now the value has
Right.
been diminished, right? Like more supply equaling less value, I think is science also. Um,
Right.
and so I think it's like the artist's job to kind of like do both, right? Because if you're a smart person, then also you can use those knobs, those, mechanics to do your greater good and like succeed and be able to then offer more or whatever also. Um,
Yeah.
because yeah, I don't know. I have collectors that have, many, many, many pieces and put up for me it's just unrealistic how much they've spent on all of it. And I'm just so fucking appreciative right? I'm so fucking appreciative. And it's like, fuck yeah, when I haven't minted something for a month, I'm thinking of them, bro. Fuck yeah. I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
there's no fucking way that, you know what I mean? Their bags are gonna be like they should be able to retire their kids 10 times when I'm done with this shit. You know what I mean? Like period before I go, no matter what, that's happening. You know what I mean? Um, so I don't know. Like, yeah, it's a weird kind of thing to balance how an artist wants to go about it. But
I think like a big
yeah,
key is thinking about an artist's long-term value in the sense of
yeah,
like, are they going to continue? And
yeah, yeah,
do they care about it? Like,
yeah,
or is it just like, okay, I'm minting this because I just fucking want money
yeah,
versus like, okay, like this is like the mission. This is like what I'm putting this out there for and the meaning behind it. And how will it be viewed 20 years from now?
yeah,
Like your work, for example, you've been an artist for already over 10 years, like in the
yeah,
game. And like, I know that you have the passion and heart in it to keep doing it because you love it, not because of your collectors or because of anything, but because it is who you are. And that's the rare thing that I think people really are looking for is like,
yeah,
is it who you are? That's why
yeah.
you're doing it, not because
Like,
you're
do
trying
you
to
have to
manipulate
do
shit.
it? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, dude. And
100%.
an epic fucking book. It's called The War of Art by
Mm,
fucking damn it, the author's name is slipping, but it's kind of like a play on Sun Tzu's The Art of War, but it's the
nice,
War of Art. And dude, I've listened to this book on Audible like countless times. Absolutely love
nice,
it. I recommend it to everybody. I originally saw Bats Do post it, and I was like, "What's
nice.
this?" And that's how I heard about it. But one of the things he says in there is a hierarchical view versus a territorial view of making art. And whatever your
Mm,
art is, so like, is it hierarchical? Meaning that you're doing it to try to jump in the hierarchy?
mm,
Or is it territorial? Is it because when you have a tough day, you go back to your territory, which is like he makes an example like Arnold Schwarzenegger's territory is in the gym.
mm,
Like fucking like a professional sports athlete of any kind, like where's their territory? It's in their sport. Like Michael Phelps' territory is in the pool. Like, is your territory your art? And if it's the question to ask yourself is if you were the last person on earth, would you still do it? And if the answer is yes, then that's your fucking territory.
mm.
Yeah. So it's an interesting
That's
concept.
crazy.
It's
I have the
like,
book
are
up
you
right
do
here, man. I'm gonna check
oh
it out.
dude, hell yeah, man. You're gonna love it. It's so good. And every time I listen to it, I get something new out of it. I absolutely love it. The mentality is sick. And he talks about the muse. He talks about how basically just getting down to your work. Like maybe
Yeah,
you don't feel like creating, but like you know that when you do, you're gonna fucking have a great time. And the muse starts conspiring in your favor when you keep
yeah,
showing up and
yeah,
keep putting in that work to create and make something amazing and all that. And like, um,
yeah, bro. Everyone has to remember to play. Even I have to remember to play, right? It's like that's another kind of like not pet peeve or whatever, but it's a thing in Web3 or just artists in general. This is absolutely not a Web3 exclusive thing, but kind of ironic because my previous art was like, you know, pretty much exclusively using that pattern most of the time. Um, but it's just like, bro, that's so fucking boring, bro. And like, I get the branding aspect. Of course, I came from that. I'm a fucking brand identity guy. Um, but it's for me a partial weakness. It's a strength when someone has a consistent style, but and even if sure it does well and all of those things, and maybe they create a whole vibe with that style, but like I don't know, I don't necessarily want to be like super overly critical, but I think it should be a conversation where artists, you know, like does Grant have to use that palette for the rest of his fucking life, bro? Like, are you fucking serious? he can do whatever the fuck he wants to do, right? Like it's all love, of course, you know, respect all that shit. You know, is Tijo ever gonna use fucking pink? Like, does everyone have to do the same shit over and over? Because now you've turned your art into a fucking Gucci bag, bro. Where it's just like
Mm.
Love Being is doing anything he fucking wants. You know what I mean? Like I started a collection that I have been doing as just one of ones at zero auction that is literally just scribbles, like fucking anything. Because
Where is
I
this?
it's called WWW Feel.
The fuck? How have I not seen this?
I've
The
only, I
boys
mean,
gotta
I've
hop
only
on the train here.
made two so far, but yeah, and like this was me trying my best to like take Love Being's freedom and like do me or whatever. But the whole point is to not have um expectation and just make, you know? Um where yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know,
I
dude.
can't find it
Yeah.
actually. I don't see it on
Really?
Foundation.
Oh
Is it
no,
on your website?
no, it's on OpenSea. I was just
Okay.
doing it as gallery because you can't do zero auctions with foundation.
You can actually now,
Oh yeah? Okay.
I
Shit.
think, but it's kind of fucked up because now all the things are zero auction and there's so much shitty spam on it. Your throws your art in there with like a bunch of really random like grotesque shit. Like there was one point it was just like all porn on the fucking foundation like homepage, not homepage, but it's it's funny, man, how people operate,
Um,
dude. I'm
I
looking
think it
this up
was a
real quick.
base thing.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can see it.
I, there's
Yeah, true.
something about base
Base.
why I couldn't do it on foundation. It's something. It wasn't. Oh no, my contract. Oh yeah, the tokens minted on base on manifold weren't showing up on foundation, so I just did it all through gallery or manifold. Sorry, you're muted, bro.
I love the idea of listing something for zero and just like letting people bid it up if it aligns for them.
Fuck
Like,
it, you know what I mean?
that's
Ended
the
up going for
most.
like 0.07 anyways.
Yeah, exactly, because the market is finding its value in like that level. And like if you continue doing this, like that's like the way I've been looking at things recently is like I want
Yeah,
to restrict supply, but I want to keep minting. How can I
yeah,
do that? By minting with like zero point zero 0.01 reserve one of ones, which I haven't
yes,
gone down that
exactly.
path very much.
Yeah.
And
That's
um
how I started my whole shit. I was doing,
really,
I minted that shit for a point, and listed it for 0.69, the thing that Dark Farms eventually got. And then I
right.
started making the internet Pepes um, at zero auction.
That's sick.
And it never went for zero, right? By the 10th
Yeah,
one, the 10th one sold for like an ETH. And so it was just,
sick.
but it's a scary thing to do, right? Because
For
there's
sure.
the style of like, you know, listing above your kind of like weight class and then being patient, and then some artists eventually get it off like that, right? um
Yeah.
but
But then only one person gets to have it anyway at that point, and it takes so much time.
right,
Like, I mean, we could look at it as an experiment. Like, for me, I am a case study of someone who
yeah,
minted. I have a collection of 7,000 generative potheads, 2,200 stonies.
mm, mm,
I have 10,000 plus editions out there, like
mm,
in number across like
yeah, yeah,
50 pieces. Plus, I have random collections, Pixel Glitch. I have given out free art so many times. Some of them claimed, over 1,000 people claimed individually on mainnet. Like, so looking at me, then I'm consistently active. Now, my supply is another concept. So it's like the supply is large. It's
mm,
over like 20, it's close to 20,000 probably.
mm,
But the
of
available supply, that's different than total supply, right? Because
course.
only like 30 stonies are listed, only like 50 potheads are listed. Out of my editions, half of them aren't even listed. And then out of the ones that are, like only a couple per piece is listed. So in reality,
Mm,
the
mm,
available amount is very low.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
that kind of goes to show that that's how that's worked out. People could bid up my work pretty quick, and like it would be then higher value from like a couple $100
Yeah,
of spending.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
interesting.
It is interesting. I mean, I think that could be cool for you, bro. Like, I think if you don't want to mint as much and like overly kind of like saturate the market, then just like make as graily shit as you can, like one at a time. Because that's another way,
Yeah.
right? Like take your effort and then put even more. Like that's how I've been looking in the recent few one of ones that I've done, where it's just like, yeah, I mean NFTs aren't selling like fucking hotcakes right now, and it's like yeah, but then
Yeah.
that means you
But
need a
still mint.
fucking showstopper if you're gonna mint, right? And so I've just been like putting in more and more and more work into each piece. Not that it just needs to forever be more and more work forever, but I don't know. I could, yeah, I don't know. I could definitely see
Yeah.
you doing like even the GM that I did today, the Windows XP joint, like that shit's fucking fire, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. There's a lot of those out there. I think we had 100+ editions of that.
Yeah.
Um, and I love that. That's like exactly what I am working on. I just got linked with Ninfa. We're doing a show October 7th. It's going to be like a week-long curated promotion on their end and 10
Nice.
one-of-ones. So I'm excited about that. I'm working on some really cool stuff that I'm excited about. Like that it's similar to like Windows XP vibes, where it's like the amount of detail is like taking me a month plus to finish some of these. So
Mm-hmm.
but like I want to keep the focus though also on you here, because I'm gonna have to wrap up unfortunately here
No worries.
in the next like 10 minutes or so. But I've been enjoying this conversation so much, man. I could talk with you for hours and hours.
I'm
Um,
sure, yeah,
like,
bro. Same.
yeah, you're a fucking OG, man. Huge respect to you. And I love your work, dude. I will be a lifetime collector, and I love learning about your journey. It's been so
Same,
cool.
bro.
Yeah, much love, bro. So like what's next for Color Color? Like I know you're in Tokyo, right?
Yeah.
How's that?
Um,
Like what the fuck? That's sick. I've always wanted to go to Japan. I've never been.
yeah, man. I mean, obviously, if you're ever here, I got you, bro. I mean, anyone
Are you
listening
there
to
long
this, if
term?
you're in fucking Tokyo, hit me up, DM me. It's easy.
Fuck yeah, I will. I will.
Um, yeah. I definitely, yeah, I made the move basically. Was just in LA struggling. She was fucking. It's just brutal, right? When you learn more about economics and shit, it's just like, wait, what the fuck? Am I paying $20 for a sandwich right now? It just shit just was not making sense. Um, and just lifestyle shit. And yeah, I got a remote job in crypto, so then it kind of like made it possible. And also the time difference was like fucking a nightmare. Being in LA, working with like European team. And so then I moved to Thailand for 6 months with my girl, and we, yeah, fucking ventured around and explored. You know, staying at a new Airbnb every fucking 2 3 weeks, which was kind of sick. We were in the fucking super countryside. Um, yeah, that was sick. But the whole
What's that
plan was
like?
to come
Countryside in
here.
Japan. What's the vibes like?
Oh, countryside. Well, that was in Thailand,
Oh,
but
word, word.
countryside in Japan. I mean, I was born here, and I after high school I lived here for 5 years, and so
No
I had a
fucking
stint
way.
where
So that's your citizenship.
yeah, well I have dual, so I have both.
Oh, dude, that's so key.
I'm a lucky
That's
bitch.
huge.
Yeah, yeah, and we just got married, so now she's fucking totally kosher too. Um,
Dude, congrats.
yeah, man,
I saw the ring on the timeline and like the whole moment and all that. Like fucking
let's
huge,
go.
dude. Massive
Thanks,
congrats to
man.
you and to her. Fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
man. Thanks, dude. It's pretty surreal.
What a life.
Um, but yeah, I mean, now I mean, the countryside is nice. I proposed to her in my hometown, which is like pretty country. Um, it's beautiful, bro. Japan is like, yeah, when you again like under learn more about economics, but then you also see the different economic situations in different places. Whether it's like, fucking Harrisburg in Pennsylvania or, Thailand or Vietnam. Um, it's kind of crazy just to like A/B it a little bit. Because then you get to somewhere like Japan, which is just such an anomaly. Um, it's just, man, yeah, I don't know. Food is good as fuck, clean as fuck, water is clean as fuck. Um, the culture is sick.
Can you drink tap?
Um, yeah, you can. You can. I mean, I'm not, but you can, 100%.
What about the street
Um,
food?
everything is good, bro. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Thailand was decent. Vietnam was rough as fuck for me, at least. That shit was super rough. I was like, oh shit, there's a whole nother level down in this motherfucker. Like, it's just really kind of, it just, yeah, yeah. I, I, I value the infrastructure more than ever, I guess. Um, but
Does
yeah,
it
I
ever
mean,
feel like you don't have access to the same things like in the States? Like, I mean, what's the weed like? Is there weed there? Or like, is that just not like
there's weed
important?
for me, shit, only for me though. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, yeah, I'm lucky. I have a legendary plug that's like my homie for a minute, so I have a trusting system. And he's giving me the like, you know, wholesale rate. So it's like what,
Nice.
15 bucks a gram, which is like, bro,
Oh,
that's regular prices, right? Where
bro,
it's like,
I
nah, bro, shit should be $50 a gram in Japan.
oh,
That's
it'd
the
probably be like a
standard.
hundred if it's legit. I remember I spent literally $100 in Bali on weed, and the
Yeah.
homie gave me, I think it was just like fucking, I don't even know, clippings of some tea or some shit, but it was apparently weed. I smoked like so much of it to like feel like nothing basically.
Oh my
And it's
God.
like the death penalty if you get caught with that shit. So like
Legit.
I was like, yeah, so that's a whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. You just don't really walk around with it. Like, yeah, I'll have like a
Yeah, for
doob
sure.
ready and it'll be like super fucking tucked in somewhere. But yeah, I can definitely smoke in my crib. I don't have I have a pretty rare situation, chill apartment with no direct neighbors. So
That's cool.
yeah, it's been chill. I thought weed was gonna seriously be a problem, and then it kind of, yeah, I got right. Because in Thailand, I was blowing it down, bro. I was smoking like a quarter a fucking day type shit. So it's kind of it's
Yeah,
kind of unhealthy level. uh,
damn,
yeah, but yeah, dude, if
dude.
you're ever trying to make a trip on this side of the world, bro, seriously, pull the
Oh yeah,
fuck up, man.
I would love to, man. It's part of my future journey, I think, is definitely making it back over there. Like, I never got to visit Japan or China. I did visit Thailand, which was only for a little
Nice,
while, but it was pretty sick.
hell
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I lived in Bali for like a year, and
Damn. Okay,
yeah, I
I
loved
didn't
it.
know
I
that
mean, it
shit.
was totally like a full-time vibe, and I lived in Airbnbs, just bouncing around, usually for like 3 months at a time per one.
Yeah,
Um,
nice.
I used to literally have this like template that I would use that would get me low prices on Airbnbs. I would like
Yeah.
spam it out to people, and it would be like, "Hey, I like your apartment, but I really would like to rent it for this amount for this many months. Are you willing to like make a deal?" And I would hit
Mm.
like 50
Oh,
people with
he's
it. It
smart.
takes like 2 minutes a pop. And then,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
so many messages come back. I've done this to literally stay in places that are like 100 grand a month for like $5,000. Like it's
Whoa.
fucking, it's key. I can send you the template too if you ever find value from
Please,
it.
bro.
I
That
have it in
sounds
multiple
insane.
languages, bro. I've got it in Spanish,
Well,
English, like all sorts of shit. Me and all my
That's
friends would use
fucking
this shit.
fire.
Like it is, it's ironclad. It's an
That's
absolute
so
hack.
sick.
Yeah, it's
Fuck yeah,
hilarious.
dude. Yeah, we're
But
definitely,
yeah,
yeah, we're blessed. I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
it's definitely a really weird situation we're in right now. So I
I
just,
agree.
yeah, I just want to provide value. I've been trying to get homies into this stuff, and we're talking about all this like supply, all this shit, whatever. But it's like to an artist that is a real artist but has no clue about this world, it is so fucking foreign, and there is no onboard. There's nowhere to learn this. There's nowhere, and it's
There's
a
room for
problem,
that to
bro.
change, you know? That's like something I'm
100%.
really passionate about. Like I'm about
Same.
to hop in an interview with Steven from Virtue Fine Art, which is doing Did's exhibition
Mm,
right now. And
nice.
he's super passionate about like also onboarding the world into this space. And that's something I'm
Yeah.
really passionate about too. Like, so I'm sure we can have a whole other conversation on that, like for sure. I'd love to have
Yeah.
you back on, man, if it ever aligned, if you're ever doing something that you want to talk more about. Like, I know we spoke a lot about like, concepts that the space is facing and overall all that, but like,
Of
um,
course.
learning about your history has been so sick, and like Godspeed, whatever's next. I know you're going
We
to create
love.
dope shit. Keep being ballsy, keep doing dope shit, keep crushing, keep being color. Your work is dope. I will forever support it in ways that I can. And yeah, huge respect for you, brother.
Same, bro. Feelings are mutual, man. I'm always down to be a part of a conversation, and yeah, man, let's get this shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Well, dude, let's
Nice,
wrap
dude.
this one. I really appreciate you coming through, and it's been fucking amazing. This is one I'll definitely be listening to a couple times over. Some real golden nuggets in there, and it's just been super fun getting to shoot the shit here. It's been sick.
100%, bro. Yeah, man. Be in touch.
Dope. All right, bro. Well, I'll end it here, and let's stay in touch, and Godspeed, man, for whatever's next.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. Have a great rest of your everything, man. You already know.
Much love, homie. All right.
Nice. Later, bro.
Peace.